is Off the Tusk. My guest this evening is a very good friend of mine. He's been a member of the Mercs with me since the beginning, since I first joined, although I got ahead of him a little bit. He's, a fun term or for fun speak, whatever, vernacular. My brother from another mother in The Mandalorian, my Vode from another abode. Okay, that sounded better in my head. Qatar Talon, who is now currently the Alor'ad of Scyk Clan out of the Panhandle part of Texas. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yay. But we go back.
Beat at least 3 of our own members.
Hey, I consider myself an honorary member of your clan because I said so. So, first of all, again, you and I have been friends for a long time. It is good to see you. It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk. How you been?
Been great. Obviously this year has been kind of a weird year for everybody. Although we did actually have our local big convention before all the virus stuff hit, so I think we're pretty one of the only clans that got all our trooping requirements in.
We got lucky up here. We actually had a small, tiny con that decided they were going to do a pre-con. Where does that sound? But I got almost probably 90% of my clan here attended this just because we all had the weekend available, and then we got locked down.
Yeah, we had ours. I think the lockdown hit 3 weeks after we had ours, and we had 4 clans there. So we got everybody in.
Awesome. So one of the questions I do want to talk about, like I said, so you're knocking on 10 years with the Mercs.
Yes.
Let's talk about those early days, when we were younger.
When even knees weren't required.
Thank God. Of all the changes they've made, and I even I still complain because as you have pointed out to me and so many others have, I'm a grumpy old man. I always complain about the fact, we don't have to have this, but I got to have knees. Have you looked at my knees? Have you heard my knees?
It's crunchy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm there.
Cereal that's named after them. But what was it like going back in them early days?
Oh God, looking back through pictures and things that we have, I gotta say, I love the fact that now we have more available to us to more easily build a kit, and the quality of kit is 90% of the time better. There's still a few oddballs that come through that I'm like, okay. But none as bad as some of the soup sandwiches we had in the early days.
Oh, I look back at pictures of my original kit and kind of just...
Yeah, what was that gray furry thing around my waist back then? I don't even know.
We joke about whether it was your blankie or your life preserver.
Yeah, and it could have gone either way. It wasn't even like I could claim it was an animal pelt. It was just felt. No, I have to say I do not miss the scrounging for trying to find a Don Post 95 or 98. Because I think when we started, that was when MDSB was the first resin cast helmets for really available anywhere other than like Boba Maker, which was a super expensive fiberglass.
The big ones that you could kind of get your hands on back at that time were you could get an ASOC.
Right. Well, no. Yes, ASOC's first fiberglass ones before he was.
ASOC was making, Saz was making, but he wasn't even he was in his infancy, I think, of putting them out. But yeah, MDSB, which is now known as NME,
yes,
they were really one of the first, or amongst the first, to put out resin, and not just put out a standard Boba helmet, but they were the first to really throw out a custom helmet.
Yeah, And I have number 6 still. And the great part about it that I tell everybody now, because they're so used to getting a resin raw cast, that before he sent it to me, he'd actually even sanded it and gone in and filled imperfections and primed it for me and everything. That because there were so few of us that he really went that extra mile to really provide a quality product.
I have one of the first 20 assassin helmets, and back when they actually offered them in black resin.
Yeah.
And same thing, it came to me, right? I didn't have to do anything to it other than put primer on it. And I had to trim the visor out. But that took me 10 minutes.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny looking back on the days of, and even back before the Mercs with some of the groups that existed prior to, where we were making stuff out of hockey pads and trying to reinforce a Ruby's helmet. So yeah, no, I don't really miss those days too much at all.
I do have to say, and even on that, not just having the availability of materials now that we didn't have then, but having the availability of design. Back in when we got started, there were 2 Mandos, Boba, Django. That was it. That's all we had. And then now we've got, the plethora that we saw in Rebels. We have a show named after us.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we're named after that. It doesn't matter. But, we have so many. And then what the show gave us as far as new ideas and new inspiration is just awesome.
And the comic books, too, that, because I remember the huge fight over when the Legacy armor first came out.
Oh.
Which.
Oh, I'm going to pick on you.
Still go either way on.
I'll pick on you a little bit. Speaking of the comic books, when you did your Aramis, or was it Aramis, or did you ever get that officially labeled as a fan?
Which one?
Your current. You did Michelangelo. Okay, for those that are just tuning in.
So my Finshiza.
Yeah, did that ever? I thought. Now, was that ever officially fan, or was that Aramis?
Okay, so.
Or was Aramis the orange? Was Aramis Michelangelo?
Aramis was the orange.
Okay, so for those that don't know, we once upon a time picked on Mr. Qatar here. He did a new kit.
My Ninja Turtle.
Wanted to do it as a protector, but we didn't have the brigades did not exist when he started that kit.
Yes.
And so he took inspiration from the comics and did the surround around it as orange.
I have that helmet. Still.
Had green, orange.
Yes.
Green armor, green vest. He looked like a turtle. And so we dubbed him Michelangelo.
And the kid that came up to me at the con and asked me where my nunchucks were.
And we may or may not have sent him some nunchucks. Numb chunks.
Yeah. but no, I never.
With the comic, what I was going to pick on you about, and I know it killed you because I've seen your kits, I've seen your work, doing such a loud color scheme with no weathering.
Nope.
Because they didn't show weathering on Fenn's kit in the.
It is absolutely 100% comic correct, up to and including the jetpack now, which is purple and white.
So aside from having your fantastic kits, and laughing at ourselves in our original iterations, and I don't think either one of us went a full year after approval before we started upgrades and redid the kit.
I don't think I went a month.
Because I still look back, and I from the time I got official to the time that I debuted my V2 kit was 9 months. Was right at 9 months. And I know that because it showed up in my Facebook the other day. But I mean, so you got approved in the Mercs, and it wasn't too long after that you put on your first rank rope, and you are one of a handful of people in the Mercs that have held what again, some of us old school folks, there are new ranks that weren't around that honestly, they're less than 2 years old.
Yeah.
But you've held what I call the big five. You've been a Rousselor, now Rousselor Solish.
Twice.
You've been a Verlor.
Twice.
You've been an Alor'ad.
Just once.
And, okay, I said big five. I can't count big four. And you've been a regional commander.
Yes. Back when there were 26 clans, I think, for us. Because I followed right after you, and it was before they split north and south.
Because you replaced Darkham Vol as this is back when it was the central region.
Yes.
Not north central or south central.
So it was everything from Louisiana to Arizona north.
And I remember when you took the job, your hair was jet black, and you did two terms as RC, and you went gray, and you're like, I'm out, gotta go.
Yeah.
It was after that, I think they realized that was too many clans for one region, and that's when they split.
Yeah, because they did split it right after I left the position.
Yeah, actually, Bedlam took over. He replaced when you decided not to run again. He won the election, and then it was just after that. But yeah, they like that's a lot for one person, and they split.
Well, just the Arizona clan is enough for a region of one person. They're what they just hit 103 members, I think.
Something like that. They've got more official members in that one clan. I mean, that's the same thing that ended up happening with Florida when Florida had Vernar Verda had 150 something members. They ended up having to split into 5 different clans, and each one still had 20 members.
Yeah. I think right now, talking with the current RC here, there are more members in their clan than in all of the other clans in South Central put together.
I believe it. There's not much else to do in Arizona. It's hot.
Well, and there's another clan in Arizona too, so they don't even have all the members in there. There's one in Yuma.
So you then left Clan Moran.
Yes.
You
never
did. You didn't leave Moran. You actually moved from the heart of Moran out to you left Dallas and went out to Lubbock, and kind of started
Tumbleweed, Texas. Yeah.
And so for a lot of the folks out there, what's it like to be so far away from an established clan that you're really part of? One of the heart of.
We founded. Yeah.
And moving out to, as you put it, Tumbleweed, and having to start over.
Well, one of the things about moving out here was, of course, when I got here, it was just starting to pick back up for all of the Star Wars groups. There weren't there was maybe less than a dozen members total, and there was, of course, one Merc already out here, Chris Strong, who I had been helping and talked through about, and he got official. So he was actually the official Merc here till I moved here. And then, of course, my getting settled in and everything, it wasn't until the first sequel came out. The premiere was my first troop here. And then kind of getting in with him, and then recruiting a Boba Fett, which is Rob, and then we had a member move from San Antonio here, who is now our Verlor, Elise Butler. And then we picked up, got a guy down in Midland official, and got a couple official up in Amarillo, and so we've kind of gathered together to put together our little group here. And we were going to be I was going to say third clan, but I guess technically fourth clan in Texas. And then KB beat us by a month. So KB beat it, got their clan put together in December. We made it in January because the shutdown at the holidays got us.
Mm.
And so we had to wait until they opened back up in January to get the clan set up. And so that was a kind of a cool deal. And so, yes, we're the babies. And like I said, of course, being part of Moran, when all of Texas was just Moran. And then going down and helping Darkham set up, or Caleb, Jay and I driving down and helping them get everybody official to get our cat going.
Yeah. Back when they had to come up and troop with us because there wasn't enough to troop down there.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I know Jay and I drove down 3 or 4 times to go armor parties, get pictures, make double check, because that's when I was Verilor and he was a Ruse. And so we'd go down and go through everything on that, which I think we were one of the first, like they just allowed us to have more than one Ruse at that point. And because
that's when I was Alor'ad for Moran, and that was right at the time that we could have, well, that was they have changed the way the ranks are structured so many times.
Yeah, so we just had 2 Ruses.
And so,
but
Clan Scyk.
So it was kind of cool getting them set up, and then I guess then when I was RC was when Barang got set up, and they got El Paso with New Mexico.
No, that at the time they just had El Paso.
Well,
Blackfire had New Mexico.
That's right.
Jumping on the way back.
Now they actually, Barang actually comes all the way to.
They had like the little nub on the corner of Texas.
Yeah.
But really, the only thing that was there was
Rio Grande Valley, or whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, no, there's been so much growth here. It's really kind of like, I don't know that I've really kept up with it as much as I should, because I'm like, wait, when did that happen?
And I can relate. So, Scyk Clan.
Yes.
SCYK.
Yes, like scissors.
So tell us about Scyk Clan. First of all, where's the name come from? Obviously, it's related to the Wars in the Stars.
Yes, it's the Scyk Lizards from what was the Galaxies game that were the big desert lizards, and as we are very much desertish area, we settled on that as our totem animal.
There you go.
And we get the Scyk, the Skik, the Kicks, the Sticks. They don't know, but yeah, it's SC like scissors, Scyk.
that works. See, I pronounced it right. Yay, first try. So, again, you've been merkin for over 10 years now. Favorite event? What's it been?
Oh God. I don't know. There's a couple of very memorable ones.
I can probably name 2 of them. I think were 1 year right after the other.
Well, the first memorable event, I'll give you 3. The first memorable event was the Death March, and not as the Mercs currently know it, but an actual we almost died. Plano 4th of July, where we all just about heat stroked out. Everybody, hydration is important, especially if you were in the heat and behind motorcycles. Baelin left the trail of Baelin bits all the way to a tree where he was wedged in the branches.
To be fair, I made it to the end of that parade.
Yes.
Barely.
That was, yes, all of us.
I think Jay was about 10 seconds away from dialing 911 on me.
We all were. The only problem was I couldn't get my gloves off to dial a phone because they were so sweat-soaked.
That was rough.
Yeah, so that was definitely first memorable. Then I remember we went to the Austin Comic-Con, which was quite memorable for all sorts of reasons. But we were supposed to be there with the 5-person Rebel Legion. We had a Stormtrooper and R2-D2 show up, and us. So it was interesting for 3 days, getting to meet everybody. And then, God, I thought I was going to give 3, and
You're leaving out one of my personal favorites with you, which was the first year we did the Plano Parade. And Darth Vader and his Sturm Guys.
Oh, what's a Mandarin Merc?
Yeah. For those that don't understand this, let me set the stage because he can never keep a straight face.
No.
It was one of our first events, really once the Clan Moran got up to full strength. We had, at that time, 12 members, which, again, to form a clan at that time was 5. And so we were almost 3 times clan strength. And Qatar's armor at the time was monochrome, black. So if people ask if you can do an all-black kit, yes. Do recommend. He did have some silver highlights. You can do it, but all-black kit, followed by us. And he somehow got put at point of our parade with we had 2 handlers carrying our little rinky-dink banner. And nobody knew what a Mandalorian was in 2010. And so there we go. But we were not far behind some of the Rebel Legion was in front of us. We got in the middle. 501st was in the back. Not in a row. We were separated. So
yeah, we
saw the Rebels.
The Harley guys right in front of us?
Yes. So we had the Rebels. Couple of troops, motorcycle group, us. And we hear the stereotypical, and see, I should point out, we also could see the stereotypical redneck, gut hanging out, American flag, tank top, flip-flop.
Cooler full of beer next to his folding chair.
And look, everybody, it's Darth Vader and his Sturm Guys.
No, you got to say it right.
I've been out of
Luke is Darth Vader and his Sturm Guys.
Do you know how hard it is to keep marching in formation when you're laughing?
I ran into the hand. I don't know who it was, but I was like, I'm gonna hold on to your shoulder for a minute.
That was rough. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Qatar memories, is just remembering Darth Vader and his Sturm Guys. And we have another member. I just totally blanked on Iron Mando. Brandon. He still can't hear even a giggle about that event without completely losing his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. And then we go.
How did he get to be the oldest merc in Texas?
Because you helped him get his kit built instead of finishing yours. And I moved.
Okay, he tried to cut his thigh piece out on his leg with a jigsaw.
Well, he wanted to make sure it fit.
I mean, come on, man. There's a reason we didn't let him use power tools for about a year.
Well, bear in mind too, if we look back, and again, this will give you and I reference on how long we've been doing this. When we met that boy, he was fresh out of high school.
Yes.
He's now knocking on 30.
Yes.
When you and I met, my youngest wasn't even born yet. He's 10. Oh, this is got another one of my other go-tos with you is actually just before it was. I don't think you had gotten official yet because you helped handle my oldest, who at the time was 5.5, and we were at the Fan Days 3 at the Richardson Library.
No.
Or was it the Civic Center?
Plano Community Center.
Either way, it wasn't exactly a large location.
Because I remember the reason I was able to do it is because it was directly up the street from my house.
And, so I've got this little Ronald McDonald looking Mando tile. And you helped keep an eye on him because that time, the helmet I had at that time had crap visibility. Not that our Mando helmets have visibility to begin with.
Yeah.
But that one in particular was crap, and half the time I couldn't see my own kid because he would get under. So I don't know if I ever told you, but thank you for helping keep an eye on my child.
You're welcome. He turned out all right. I didn't damage him.
No, you didn't. He actually turned out pretty good. But now again, you've been doing this for a while. What are your goals? What's next for Qatar?
Honestly, right now, is I've got several unofficial members that I'm really pushing and working hard trying to get them official because we are about to lose one. So if we lose one, I want to gain 2. Kind of my goal. Because he's unfortunately moving back to Florida. He's retiring from the Army. That's our Boba Fett. Which is great for him, and that's awesome. But my good buddy, and he's leaving, so that's kind of sad. Happy, sad at the same time.
Yeah.
But we do have several people, Midland area. Got a couple up in Amarillo. Working on a couple here, trying to bring everybody in and get them going. Boy, our Amarillo group especially has been just on the ball. And our current Ruse, I don't know how many kits she's actually built now. I don't know. She's like 30, 40. I think she's on her 4th now in less than a year. So, and not revamps of kits, all brand new kits.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of an overachiever, which is perfect for a Ruse.
That's what you want, is someone that knows, that can build a kit.
Yes.
It's one thing to be academic about it, but it's something else to have somebody in the role that can isn't just academic, but is practical.
Yeah, and I am currently in actually revamping my first kit. I'm actually redoing Qatar. I'm retiring my Finshiza for a while. It goes on the Mandokin. And so I've got a true Mando style. It's going to have the ear slats and everything. And this was a hand-me-down bucket that I can't remember. It's of unknown provenance.
Oh, I can tell you exactly.
Decide where I actually wound up getting it from.
That's a Headshot Props. Actually, back from the days of Scarada Arms.
It's not. It looks similar.
There's only two people that made that helmet.
Well, the ear cutouts I actually put in.
Okay, because I say if it came that way, there's only 2 people that made that bucket.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty sure eBay special somewhere.
Gotcha. Okay. Never mind. Don't mind me. I don't have a clue.
Misshapen. So, but that's going to be slowly but surely building into my next kit. I'm venturing into sewing on my own. Kind of an adventure. But I did do my, I actually did a Netflix Punisher costume that I actually sewed his bulletproof vest out of real deal ballistic nylon. I highly suggest using something that looks like it and not actually using ballistic nylon because it does not sew well. It does stop bullets though.
I'm not going to ask why you know.
Texas.
No, fair enough.
We have a range right up the street.
Meanwhile, at home, boys and girls, don't try this.
Yeah, no, don't wear it. Just put it out.
All right. So you want to get new members.
New members.
New kit.
New kit eventually.
What else? What else? What's the goals? You got to have stuff you want to do.
Well, we're getting our coin run off, which we've got them ordered now, so that'll be our first challenge coin. They are going to be numbered, and I told you kind of a preview earlier, they will also have glow in the dark.
Meanwhile, my own Barrett Lord is going to watch this and be like, why isn't... Shut up.
But, so, yeah, that's basically is kind of getting everybody squared away, getting us built up. It's kind of nice having a year that we have a kind of a break from trooping so that we can focus a lot more on getting things built and getting things squared away. And we're working on doing some of the larger props to take to conventions. We coordinate really, really well in this area with our other Star Wars groups. We have what's called the West Texas Galactic Alliance here, where all of the membership, we actually have a members meeting every year. It's everybody from every club. And then kind of plot out our year. We share tables at conventions. If one of us gets an invite, we all get an invite. So it's been a really good to build that relationship with the other clubs here. Because I know some areas it's pretty contentious, but here we're all just family because it started out there were only maybe a dozen of us total. So as we've added throughout the group, we've kind of still kept that family mentality, which has been really fantastic for helping grow.
All right. Now comes my part, my favorite part, the highlight of Off the Tusk. I warned you about it earlier. This is the lightning round. So you'll be presented with a choice.
Do I get a big red button?
There's no red button. You just got to tell me which one you would prefer. So I start off. Right. This is the icebreaker question. So Boba or Django?
Django.
X-wing or Y-wing?
X-wing.
Slave 1 or an Aether Sprite?
Or what?
Obi-Wan's fighter. It's an Aether Sprite.
No, Slave 1.
Okay. See, some people like the maneuverability. Leia? Leia or Rey?
Leia.
Han or Lando?
Han.
Chewie or R2?
Chewie. Sorry, coming from the Dallas area.
I understand. Mandalorian or
don't say the dirty word.
Boba.
I gotta go Mandalorian.
All right. See, that's lightning round. Easy peasy. You don't even have to explain. But
I thought you were going to say Jedi there for a second. I'm like,
Oh, no. See, I wouldn't do that to you. I know.
You know better. You man Jedi hater here.
That's okay. That's all right.
Even though I do have one of their fancy glow sticks now for...
You finally have your first lightsaber.
Yeah, 40 years old.
The world.
And nobody believed me. Like, my entire life, I've never owned, not even a toy lightsaber.
Like I said, you've taken your first step into a larger world.
Nah, it'll get stuffed in a box somewhere.
And then until you realize you can actually sit down really comfy and drive in those costumes.
No, I have a Cassian costume.
But you don't get to carry a glow stick. You know what the best part about the glow stick is? Especially in today's world, 6 feet. Smack people.
That's what I have a glare for.
Yes, yeah, I know you better. I ain't scared. It's like when I try to give the glare at my wife, she laughs.
Yeah, funny thing that. Commander Kelly.
Oh, yes. So,
Has she finally been promoted to Admiral Kelly now?
to be perfectly honest, I think she set her commission aside. She found it to be too limiting. She just prefers to be referred to as the presence.
She who must be obeyed.
Yes, very often is she referred to as that. God, talking about some of the old days, the amount of help she gave all of us.
Absolutely. If she watches this, Kelly, thank you so much for over the years for not murdering all of us.
Considering the first time she met all of you, she was 8 months pregnant, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time we did an armor party at my place.
Oh, do we need to bring up the armor party?
Which one? The one with the Nerf dart?
No. Do you still have the scar?
No, that healed finally.
No. No, I was talking about the one when I bought my house before I'd even moved in. And everything was empty. And calling the meeting to order. And Clan, listen up! And looking over at my African-American neighbors going, no, Clan with the C. Clan with the C.
For the record, that was not me in charge at that point.
No, that was the previous Alor'ad.
Let's get this clan meeting to order.
And I was like, no, don't say that.
Just, especially not with that emphasis. He put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Let's just put it that way.
And we're all standing around in our black flight suits, which was fantastic.
That's how we weathered them. We worked in them.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, with the prop weapons laid up along the side of your house, yeah, that was not one of our.
That was. I just moved in. I've been here 3 days, and I'm gonna get killed.
That was not one of our shining moments in that plan.
I had to explain to them so much after everybody left what was going on. And they're like, oh, y'all are dorks. And I'm like, yes.
We're dorks, but we do good things for being dorks. You know, we raised lots of money for lots of good charities.
Yes.
All righty, sir. Well, I have enjoyed catching up with you, but I think it's getting a little bit late for you there, and I am being informed that it's late for me here. So it's been fun to chat. Anything else you want to say before we bring this episode to a close?
Just kind of give everybody, encouragement, especially for the people who are in the process of, yes, it seems like you're crawling through molasses. That has never changed. Things will get kicked back. Things will not be right. The first time you troop, something's going to break. Don't give up.
The second.
Keep in mind why you want to do it, which is not for your own edification. Do it because you're bringing a little bit of joy and a little bit of better to somebody else. Keep that in mind. Don't make it about you. We're just plastic spacemen. Give it to the people.
That's it. All right, my brother. I have enjoyed it. So, this is Untitled Chapter. I'm Baelin Halon, and this has been awesome.